evening, sports fans. Welcome to Tibay at Tatag. Mas pinalakas na Pilipinas sa 33rd Southeast Asian Games updates powered by Arena Plus Sportsbook and brought to you by Signal TV, the official broadcaster of Thailand 2025. Ako po, si Paulo Del Rosario.
And good evening, everyone. I am Jana Ejido. Well, Paulo, it was another full day from inspiring stories, of course, from Team Philippines, as our athletes continue to represent the country at the regional showcase.
Alam mo, Jana, sinasabi nga nila that this is the biggest contingent we've ever sent to the Southeast Asian Games or any regional meet. And of course, several Filipinos have already flaunted yung kanilang agaling. And of course, they've claimed medals in different events, but there's plenty more action in store for our athletes in the upcoming days.
Siyempre, day what pa lang tayo?
Day 2 officially, ha?
Out of how many days?
Oh nga, and not only that, may mga minus 1 day, the day before the opening, may mga laro na. So there's a lot to look forward to.
Siyempre, and we will be with you showing their highlights, telling their stories, and talking to our correspondents who are in Thailand. They're ready to bring us closer to the action.
And of course, we're going to take a look at how the Team Philippines has been doing. The second full day of competition at the SEA Games is in the books. So let's take a look at our medal tally here. Now, as of 9:30 p.m., the Philippines has already claimed 5 gold medals, 5 silvers, and 20 bronze medals for a total of 30 medals in the board.
At dahil dyan, nasa ikalimang pwesto na po tayo here in the standings. Host Thailand remains ahead of the pack with 37 gold medals, 20 silvers, and 12 bronzes for a total of 69 medals.
Alam mo, Jana, expected yan na ang host nation talaga mauuna with the 37 gold medals.
Naghanda talaga eh.
Oh, naghanda talaga. And of course, it has been one of the things that talaga may host advantage. Indonesia follows suit in second place with 10 golds, 18 silvers, and 11 bronze medals. And currently in the third spot, Vietnam with 10 golds, 7 silvers, and 23 bronze medals. Now, the Philippines has moved up once again to the 5th spot, but there are plenty more medals that are up for grabs. Na malayo pa tayo, and di pa tapos ang laban.
Siyempre, now first, let's talk about the athletes here tonight.
Yes,
one of the athletes who stood out for Team Philippines today is Olympian Aliyah Finnegan, who has given the country its first gold in gymnastics earlier today.
Finnegan, who represented the Philippines at the 2024 Paris Olympics last year, ruled the women's vault finals to claim the gold, surpassing Vietnam's Nguyen Tin Kien Nu and Malaysia's Yep Kang Sian.
The 22-year-old claimed her third SEA Games gold following wins at the vault and team events in Vietnam back in 2021. Alam mo, Pao, yung vault, specialty of the house talaga ni Aliyah.
Of course, at sa floor event naman, she is also a national champion sa United States back with LSU. So she is expected to do well there as well. And of course, ito nga, is one of yung mga key contenders natin sa gymnastics who we expected to bring the gold. And so far, Aliyah Finnegan has delivered. And we're excited to see what else she has in store for us.
For sure. Aliyah Finnegan still has the floor exercise. She's shown that in the prelims today. I'm very excited to see what she's going to bring in the medal event.
And of course, that's not it for Team Pilipinas. There's so much more to discuss. The Philippines has also proven its talent in combat sports, as 2 of our athletes claimed gold in jiu-jitsu events. And of course, it had added sa ating medal haul.
Dean Michael Rojas claimed the gold in the men's Newaza 85-kilogram category, defeating Singapore's E. Akos Ho Yu in the final to rule the division. Rojas first won in the same event 6 years ago.
Meanwhile, Kimberly Custodio also took home the gold in the women's 48-kilogram class after beating Sugun Nuchaya of the host nation Thailand in the final. At alam mo, when we take a look at the fact that when you go up against yung host nation athlete, talagang you have to be sure of the victory.
Yes.
Kasi minsan nga, sinasabi nga nila that there's that home court advantage, especially in mga events na may judging involved. So in a sport like yung mga combat sports natin, we have to be able to really ensure na comprehensive yung victory natin, especially kapag kalaban natin yung host nation sa mga finals.
And I love that you brought that up because we're very successful in that jiu-jitsu event, and we were speaking to Doreen Suay Baguio a while ago.
Yeah.
I spoke to her and she said we were successful in both men's and women's. So not just the one division, but we had both in the bag today.
Yes, that's true.
And of course, combat sports has always been one of the strengths of Team Philippines. And our performance in Thailand proves it further. Basta combat sports, magaling talaga dyan ang mga atleta natin.
Now, to tell us more about how our athletes perform in combat sports, including mixed martial arts, we have one of our correspondents, Dip Tipiangco. Dip, kamusta naman dyan? And of course, kamusta naman ang mga MMA fighters natin?
Hey, Pao and Jana. Of course, the MMA fighters had a great showing in the final day of competition today. And as you all know, it's a demonstration sport in the 33rd Southeast Asian Games, meaning the medals won't count in the total tally, but they will still be given the individual medals. So again, a demonstration sport means they're testing out the waters para moving forward. If okay lahat ng the way they conduct the sport, they will make it an official sport in the next SEA Games. So a total of 4 bronze medals and 1 gold for mixed martial arts.
Well, Dip, we've always had these good performances, no, dito sa combat sports. I want to know, how is our delegation planning to add on to those already good performances here in the Games?
Right, so Jelly Bulang, as you mentioned, already got the gold earlier in the modern 60-kilogram female category. Then 4 other bronze medalists. So the coaches told me a while ago, so Coach Lester Del Rosario, Coach Richard Lespriet told me that they will try to build on the momentum. Sa January, mayroong qualifiers which will be held in China. And then next year, it will also be debuting the sport of MMA in the Asian Games. So they hope that this strong showing in the Southeast Asian Games will push them forward. So pagdating ng January, ang target is mag-qualify, and in Asian Games, first time ulit natin makita yung MMA in that scene.
Dip, when you take a look at yung medal haul natin dito, 1 gold and 4 bronze medals, you had a chance to talk to the team and really assess yung performance nila. How did they feel about yung initial showing nila dito sa Southeast Asian Games?
Well, very interesting, Pao, yung story ni Jelly Bulang, the one who got the gold medal, kasi she's also a counselor back home in Bulacan. So she was saying medyo mahirap yung stint niya in the SEA Games for the 3rd time in the Southeast Asian Games dahil pinagbabalance niya yung kanyang public service. But she wanted to get the gold and she continued to train. And syempre may mga bago rin tayong fighters. We have veterans like Gina Araos, the first Pinay MMA fighter who competed in one championship, and also may bago tayong competitors in the 22-year-old Giselle Daya and 19-year-old Denzel Alipio. So the future is bright. Meron tayong continuity sa program of mixed martial arts.
Dip, nakakatakot ata yun if you're going to run against the fighting counselor ng Philippine team. And of course, there's so much to be interested in here, Jan, especially when you mentioned that may continuity nga ang programa natin.
Yes, and speaking of continuity, Dip, what are we looking forward to, siguro, from the rest of the delegation here in the rest of the days of the Games?
Yeah, of course, we still have a number of games you guys mentioned earlier. Officially day 2, but obviously the other competition started even before the opening ceremony. So we're looking forward to the start of basketball, 5-on-5. As we said, babawi tayo dyan sa sport na yan to get the medal. And then volleyball has already started in the women's, yung Alas Pilipinas. So though they lost, they have a few more games. And then men's will also compete tomorrow. Plus, our Olympian, Joanny Delgaco, has arrived. She has a bunch of events as well in the rowing competition. So aabangan natin yung lahat. And of course,
Dip,
boxing. Doon tayo malakas. Yes, Pao.
Dip, maraming salamat. We hate to cut you off there, but we're running out of time. But we cannot wait to hear from you a bit more, especially as the games go on. Maraming salamat, Dip, and ingat dyan sa Thailand.
Of course, and that was one of our correspondents, Dip Tipiangco, who is live from Bangkok, giving us a recap of all the MMA action for Team Philippines today.
And we'll have more for you about our athletes when we return here at Tibay at Tatag. Mas pinalakas na Pilipinas sa 33rd Southeast Asian Games updates powered by Arena Plus Sportsbook and brought to you by Signal TV, the official broadcaster of Thailand 2025. back to Tibay at Tatag, ang mas pinalakas na Pilipinas sa 33rd Southeast Asian Games updates powered by Arena Plus Sportsbook and brought to you by Signal TV, the official broadcaster of Thailand 2025.
Well, it was a packed day for Team Philippines today in Thailand, and one of the squads that saw action is the Philippine women's football team, which had a memorable victory. And you know what? My partner right here would know it best dahil siya po yung nag-cover ng larong yan. Pao, anong oras ka pa nagka-cover?
Well, alam mo, this was a game that we were looking forward to siguro for the past few days kasi grabe yung panalo nila in the last one against Vietnam to maintain their medal hopes. At dito sa larong ito, they needed to beat Malaysia convincingly dahil yung quotient system nga ang kailangan i-beat dito ng Team Pilipinas. And of course, they did so by scoring 6 goals against Malaysia. Naka-hat-trick po si Alexa Pino, one of our younger players. And of course, goals as well for Jessica Coward, Ariana Marquez at si Anika Castañeda for the Philippines. So memorable victory here for the Filipinas, and they only needed at the end 3 goals to advance to the next round, to the semifinals, pero nakakuha sila ng 6. So congratulations to our girls in the blue, the royal blue that they were wearing there a while ago. Debut ng uniform po nila yun. And of course, they're going to be hoping that tuloy-tuloy na to going to the podium.
Now, you mentioned the quotient, Pao. I want to know, why is this so crucial for Team Philippines in that aspect? We beat Vietnam, we beat Malaysia with such a large margin. How is this going to shape up moving forward in the semis?
Well, kasi yung goal difference was the key indicator kung sino yung papasok sa semifinals.
Right, okay.
Kasi even sa points, even sa win-loss tally, itong si Myanmar, si Vietnam, at ang Team Pilipinas.
Right.
So the question would be, who had the better quotient? Kung baga dito sa Pilipinas, may mga quotient din yung differences, especially sa PBA para for a more familiar look at yung sistema na yon. So may ganun rin sa football.
Right.
So yung importante dito is the goals scored. Kaya importante na ka-anim ang Team Pilipinas.
Well, we're glad that they made it to the semifinals after that crucial win. Of course, like you mentioned, we've had lots of stars that come out to play, especially Alexa Pino with that hat-trick earlier. And meanwhile, the Gilas Pilipinas 3x3 men's team fell short in their quest for gold as they lost by a slim 1 in the semifinals earlier tonight.
And of course, I believe we're still seeing yung mga highlights natin sa Filipinas football a while ago. And of course, you were mentioning a while ago yung 3x3 team natin sa Gilas Pilipinas. Disappointing loss for them, especially kasi napakataas yung expectations natin pagdating sa 3x3 basketball.
For sure.
So of course, we're going to have to talk about the fact that siguro balik sa drawing board, especially when it comes to 3x3 basketball, because humahabol na talaga ang region when it comes to yung basketball skill and abilities, especially sa 3x3 field. Kasi ibang-iba talaga ang laro kapag 3x3. Let's take a look at this here because the Philippines absorbed a 1-point defeat against Singapore with a score of 20-21. Na dahil dyan, we missed the opportunity to go to the gold medal game after what was an undefeated start sa torneyong ito.
Right, Pao. And you mentioned the nature of this 3x3 tournament. Of course, one slim margin of a loss will cost you. But the team still had a shot at a podium finish with a bronze medal game against Malaysia. So fingers crossed for that. However, it ended in yet another painfully close loss. This time, 19-21.
Yeah, that was a winner against, unfortunately, Ange Kawame, who we all know na very great defensively and unfortunately unable to get the defensive stop and unfortunately missing out on the podium is Team Pilipinas. Now, moving on, another squad that sports fans are looking forward to seeing is our Alas Pilipinas women's volleyball team. Now, today they stepped on the Tariflex but fell short in their opening match.
Right, and there are the highlights on your screens from the opening match of Alas Pilipinas Women's. Well, the host and defending champions, Thailand, proved too much for the Philippines with Alas Pilipinas Women falling in straight sets, 11-25, 17-25, and 16-25.
And of course, the thing here with the Alas Pilipinas women is that going up against Thailand would always be a difficult task. I think 14 times SEA Games champion ng Thailand. So napakabigat talaga yung challenge to go up against the Thais. And we all know that it would be a bonus if we got to win over them, at least sa women's volleyball in particular. But it adds on to the importance here of yung development natin and of course yung prospects of having to perform better in our next game, considering 2 linggo lang ata yung training
The preparation,
ng Alas
yes.
Pilipinas.
Yes, but like you mentioned, every time we go up against the Thais, everyone loves it. We get challenged. At the same time, we challenge them also. Just this time, we fell short in the SEA Games.
Well, following this defeat, the Philippines faces a crucial match against Singapore tomorrow afternoon to keep their medal hopes alive.
Well, aside from Alas Pilipinas' performance today, aside from combat sports that we talked about earlier, the Philippines has also usually done well in athletics.
And with the Philippines having 61 athletes competing in different events in athletics, we have high hopes that more medals are on the way. Now, to give us more on Team Philippines in athletics, we have one of our correspondents, Bea Escudero, joining us right now. Bea, I believe only one athlete ended up with a medal para sa Team Pilipinas. Could you tell us a bit more about her?
Hi, Pao and Jana. Day one of athletics may have just started with 1 medal for the Philippines, but there were still a lot of promising signs from our athletes. In decathlon, for example, Janry Ubas and Hockett de los Santos both had solid openings. They competed in the first 5 events and stayed well within striking distance heading into day number 2, which will be tomorrow. Janry remains in a good position and Hockett is still fighting through strongly, both very much still in the running for a podium finish tomorrow. We also saw encouraging performances from our newcomers, or what they call the new wave of SEA Games athletes. Sydney Yap, for example, finished 5th in his SEA Games debut in the hammer throw. He said that he gained valuable experience from that. And over in the men's 100 meters, Kent Hardin advanced to the finals in his first SEA Games appearance and finished 8th. For him, it was still such an amazing feat, and he will definitely gain this in the next tournaments to come. Now, there were also near podium finishes as well, including Zion Nelson's 4th place in the women's 100 meters, showing just how competitive the Philippines can be when it comes to sprint events. She was also joined by Christina Knott, whom we are very much familiar with. Unfortunately, she did place last, but not to worry because those two still have a lot of tournaments to come in the next coming days. But of course, just like what we mentioned, we do have 1 medal, the lone medalist, and we did end it on a high note with Susan Ramadan, who delivered the country's lone medal in bronze for the women's 1,500 meters. It was quite an emotional and hard-earned finish that, for her, it was really just such a challenge just getting to this point. She even mentioned how she wanted to do this not just for herself but also for her family, knowing just how much benefits and how much she can gain from this kind of experience. And in fact, that she wasn't just competing and practicing. She was doing this all during her OJT, which I'm sure you guys would understand. It's definitely hard to juggle both. Plus, having to drive from Manila or commute from Manila to Clark. So definitely a hard-earned bronze medal for Susan Ramadan.
What an inspiring story. Thank you for giving us that, Bea. And I want to know, besides Susan Ramadan, which other athletes are we bound to see for the rest of the coming days here at the Games?
Well, Jana, we still have strong medal prospects coming in the next few days. For tomorrow, for example, the men's decathlon, like what I mentioned, continues again with both Janry and Hockett still in very, very good position in the final events. We will also be seeing action in the men's 400 meters with Caris Pontanial and Frederick Ramirez, who, of course, has proven SEA Games performers through the years, right? And also a mix of that with a podium finish, hopefully. In the field events naman, there's Amanda Havaliano, who will be competing in the women's hammer throw. And in the men's high jump, we have Kent Brian Celeste and Leonard Grospe, who are both capable of making a strong push. Then over in the hurdles, we have Clinton Kingsley Bautista and John Cabang Tolentino, who will be starting their campaign in the 110-meter hurdles. And if, of course, they do advance, they will be back for the finals as well. We are very much familiar with John Cabang. He was an Olympian with, of course, who I was just about to mention, our Olympian, Lauren Hoffman, will be competing as well tomorrow. That's the women's 100-meter hurdles finals. And, of course, she will be seen as one of our top medal hopes for that.
Well, you know what, Bea, just taking a look at the roster that we have in store, napaka-exciting talaga in terms of athletics to watch out for. I have no idea how you're going to try to keep up with all of them kasi napakabilis talaga.
So
yung
many events.
Oo. So, Bea, I believe that's all the time that we have here for you. But of course, we're excited to see what other reports you have to come up with for the rest of the days. And hopefully, you go enjoy the tom yum for us out there.
And some pad thai, Bea. Well, that was one of our correspondents, Bea Escudero. We will hear more from her and the rest of our correspondents as they continue to cover the games of Team Philippines.
Now, we have more about our athletes, including a preview of their upcoming competitions when we come back here on Tibay at Tatag. Mas pinalakas na Pilipinas sa 33rd Southeast Asian Games updates, powered by Arena Plus Sportsbook and brought to you by Signal TV, the official broadcaster of Thailand 2025.
The nightcap did not disappoint as Team Philippines added more medals to its tally thanks to our swimmers who ended day one on a strong note. Gian Santos, a first-timer in the SEA Games, bagged the silver in the men's 200-meter individual medley. The quartet of first-timers Heather White from Duke, Olympian Kayla Sanchez, plus SEA Games medalist Sandy Chua and Chloe Esleta made a splash by winning the gold in the women's 4x100 freestyle relay.
I think we carry a lot of pride in that, and yeah, we're just super proud to be representing the Philippines, and it makes us really special that it's the first day. We just want to carry this momentum through with us for the rest of the meet.
It's definitely our first time doing a relay together, but we've known each other for a while now, and I think that chemistry, trust, and we know that we've worked very hard really showed in the pool.
POC President Bambol Tolentino said he was not surprised with how the girls closed the gap because they are more than capable of getting first place.
Actually, we're expecting that. Ganyan kalakas yung relay natin. We're expecting that. Kahit first, medyo nakahabol yung kabila sa second, kakainin talaga yan ng third. Pero pag tumabla yan, tapos na kay Kyla yan sa board.
Team Philippines will look to build on the momentum as more swimmers are set to see action in the coming days.
Day 1 of aquatic swimming done here at the Sports Authority of Thailand, and we added more medals to our haul for Team Philippines. 1 silver and our second official gold for the country, and we're ready in the next days to get more medals for Team Philippines. From Bangkok, Thailand, I'm Dip Dipianco. Tibay at Tatag, mas pinalakas na Pilipinas sa 33rd Southeast Asian Games.
That was Dip Dipianco with that report. At alam mo, Jana, when we look at the prospects of yung swimming team natin, napakalakas. There's so many great individual swimmers, and it's so nice to see that everyone could come together. Now, we just heard from some of the members of our swimming teams who have already made their presence felt and won medals for the Philippines. Now, you are still watching Tibay at Tatag, mas pinalakas na Pilipinas sa 33rd Southeast Asian Games updates, powered by Arena Plus Sportsbook and brought to you by Signal TV, the official broadcaster of Thailand 2025. And again, like I mentioned it a while ago, na there's so many exciting talents sa mga tankers natin.
Yes, and of course, like what was mentioned also, this was expected because of the caliber that they bring to the games. We're not surprised with the success that we've been getting out of our swimming delegation in the SEA Games.
At alam mo, napaka-bonus that we have a debutant like Gian Santos winning the silver. And of course, may mga known quantities na tayo. We knew that Heather White would perform well. Shandy Chua, Kyla Estreta, and of course Kylie Estreta rather, and then Kyla Sanchez doing very well for Team Pilipinas. And of course, gold sa team event natin. Let's see what they could do in their individual events, especially with Kyla Sanchez already claiming a silver sa 200-meter event niya.
That's right, and with the second full day of competition now done, we look forward to what's in store for some of our athletes tomorrow, December 12th, which promises to be, of course, action-packed.
First up, some of our prize fighters will return to the ring as their quest for medals continue in men's and women's boxing.
We have Jun Milardo Ogaire competing in the quarterfinals of the men's 60-kilogram division, and Mark Ashley Fajardo looking to sustain his momentum in the men's 69-kilogram quarterfinals.
Olympian Hergy Bakyadan is close to a gold medal and will see action tomorrow in the semifinals of the women's 70-kilogram division. And you can catch that live on One Sports Plus at Pilipinas Live.
Well, I'm very excited for boxing tomorrow, Pao, because we're going up against the Thais, who are
rivals yan.
Yes, exactly. Tomorrow and all that. And after a successful hosting of the FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup, the Philippine women's futsal team makes their debut tomorrow against Thailand at 5:30 on Pilipinas Live.
Interesting matchup yun, especially when you take a look at the Philippines having all that experience from the FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup. Oh, sobrang fresh talaga. And at 6:30 p.m., our Alas Pilipinas women's volleyball team returns to action in a crucial match against Singapore, which you can catch on One Sports Plus at Pilipinas Live.
Crucial indeed, because if they win that match, go straight to the semis.
Yes, there's a chance to make the podium.
And you can catch Team Philippines in action at the 33rd Southeast Asian Games on One Sports Plus, RPTV, and on Signal Channel 261, as well as the One Sports YouTube channel.
And you know, partner, we are going to be here all throughout the competition up until the very end, and hopefully counting up the medals with you and seeing Team Pilipinas climb up the medal tally as well. That does it us for here at Tibay at Tatag. Mas pinalakas na Pilipinas sa 33rd Southeast Asian Games updates powered by Arena Plus Sportsbook. Bring home the win. Support our national athletes as they represent the country at the Southeast Asian Games. Ako po si Paulo Del Rosario.
And I'm Jana Ejido. Thank you and good evening.